How about some amp talk this morning? I moved my bench indoors, so I'm enjoying my new environment. My son moved out; he's a big boy, and I finally have another office. But how about some amplifier talk? Like I said, a couple of quick topics. Uh, if you follow my channel, watch my channel ever, I built a lot of Fender 5e3 type amps in the last 5-6 years. This being one of them. And just right off the bat, I'll just tell you it's worth it to do two things. Let's flip this baby around. I did the 6L6 mod on it yesterday. So this amp has got a larger output transformer in it. Let me get my light down there. There we go. It's got this big, I think it ends with like a 95 number of a classic tone. Of course, no longer made, unfortunately, but it's the bigger power transformer they made for the 5e3s and the big multi-tap. And the way I've got it set up is I have two 4-ohm outs and one 8 out. Instead of, daisy chaining my cabs, I prefer to just have the, single output for each cabinet. It makes it easy that way. And, well, whatever. Anyhow, I made this janky cage from another piece of an amplifier last night for these 6L6s. They're hard to light up in there, aren't they? So I've got the 6L6s and the GZ34 in there. And it's an amazing difference if you make 5e3s and do your own 5e3s. It's an amazing difference. So is, in my opinion, lead dress. This one is different than the rest. I did this one point to point on turrets, the little mounted chassis turrets, or not turrets, but terminal strips, I'm sorry. And it does sound different than like the red ones, the exact same amp, but it's, it's got all the turret board on stock, as everybody makes them, same layout. This one is point to point and the components are all over the place, and it sounds completely different. It just does. That was before the output transformer. Still sounded different. Now it really sounds different. It's worth that transformer upgrade if you plan on sticking with your, 5e3 type Fender amps that you make yourself, etc. This one, so since I did it myself, I laid it out this way. Master volume, big chicken head knob so the bass player knows what to touch. At a gig, up, down, makes it just touch the chicken head knob, my friend. And then bass, treble, and then high, the high channel and normal channel. Bright channel, sorry. And normal channel. I dismantled the Marshall mods that the one channel mod that I'd done to this. I just found I didn't like it as much. The red one had the same mod. The one above did not. And I was playing another one that I made with a friend. I made one for my friend Natalie. And she brought it over and I was checking out her amp. And I loved the two channels the way they were. So I put this one back and yeah, I really like it a lot as the stock preamp channels, the shared cathode at the two preamps. But once you change to the 6L6 and the GZ34, it makes a big difference in the sound of the amp. Like at this setting, my master volume at 10 o'clock and the gains just cracked, not even to 10 apiece. It was feeding back. Just a nice controlled, sustained feedback at very low volume on top of this Celestion cabinet. Very different than the amp was originally with the 6V6. It really changed the amp. It's really a worthwhile mod. I shouldn't have waited so long to do that. You do need to change the output cathode to, I would recommend 12 watts to a 12 watt ohmite and a 100 volt bypass cap, that 25 UF bypass cap, to be safe. These are, closed in little chassis, and 12 watt is a good way to go there. I've also been playing this lately. That's a 32 watt Dr. Z Route 66 with KT66 and an EF86 front end. And I'm going to tell you that if I had to choose between the two, I'm going to fucking turn this thing around. It weighs 50 pounds. It's not easy to do with one hand. I've got the shield off that second tube just for the moment. But EF86 in that little cage right there. And then two big old KT66 power tubes. And 5U4 rectifier in this one, I believe. And it's a 32 watt amp. If I had to choose between the two, it would be this one. It obviously breaks up way earlier if I want it to. It's way more versatile than the Route 66 in my opinion. That's a great sound. It's a great amp. But yeah, like they say, that's a concert amp. That's you're doing outdoor gigs, yes sirree. This will do that too. This is significantly louder than it was with the 6V6 and 5Y3. So make that change yourself. Just go with the 12 watt cathode and 100 volt bypass cap, and you'll be fine. If you're working on your own amps anyways. This thing's another octal preamp amplifier. I'll be talking about that. It's based on a Gibson, what was it, EH185G, I think was the numbers on it. It's from the 30s, somewhere in the late 30s, the design. That's actually the back of the amp. The front is over here. It's got a 25 watt tone tubby in it. And I'll be talking about that one soon. But hey, do it yourselfers if you're making your 5v3s. Boy, do that. And I would recommend going with it just sounds completely different. I don't know if it's the lead dress, the master's over here now, as opposed to being over in the preamp section, mid-range and master volume on this one. And both these were modified after they were built. So the master volumes are here, and you have your standard normal volume, bright volume, tone, standard 5v3 stuff. Has feedback switches in the back. This one has no feedback. I like it just fine with no feedback. Anyways, make that switch. Put those 6L6s in and a GZ34. Correct your cathode. Make it a 12 watt resistor and a 100 volt bypass cap, so that you're safe there. Your amp's safe there. Do your thing, man. Careful on those amps. LOL.